All right, ladies and gentlemen, two more matches to go. Our penultimate match features players from England and Scotland. First of all, please welcome a man who's won multiple international open ranking events. He was a finalist in one of these Euro Tour events in 2015. He is the Highlander, John Henderson. And now for John's opponent. He was the 1997 News of the World runner-up. He played in numerous of these Euro Tour events and goes quite deep quite often. Ladies and gentlemen, he's ranked number 13 in the world, the number 11 seed, the Diamond, Ian White.
Penultimate game of the night, and it starts with the Diamond Dab. Ian White hitting the dab in front of this Gibraltar crowd at the Victoria Stadium as he gets his Gibraltar Darts Trophy campaign underway. They're just going to make sure the board is completely aligned as he takes on John Henderson. Both of these guys former finalists on the European Tour, both the same event in fact, the German Darts Masters. Hendo made it in 2015 in Munich, while Ian White, way back in 2012, made the final of the tournament when it was held in Sindelfingen, the Glaspalast, the most recent venue on the European Tour. In Ian's case, he was beaten by Adrian Lewis. Hendo managed to be beaten by Michael van Gerwen, but 2015 and 2016, that was really when Michael van Gerwen was owning the European Tour. It is very much owned this year by Peter Snakebite Wright. We already know that the number 1 seed Peter Wright is in the last 16. Can the number 11 seed Ian White join him, or will we see another unseeded player join the likes of Dimitri van den Berg, Darren Johnson, Magnus Carris and Rob Cross in the 3rd round of action tomorrow? I'm Dan Dawson. Rob Malarkey has joined me for this one. It's England versus Scotland here in Gibraltar.
He goes quite deep quite often, according to RMC Jack Newlett. Ian White, well, he went deep last year here, semi-finalist in Gibraltar. Ian White losing to Dave Chisnall 6-0, but that was followed by a run of 7 eliminations at either the 2nd or 3rd round stage on the European Tour. Has made the semis this year, though, in the German Darts Open in Saarbrücken. One of only 2 players to beat Michael van Gerwen on the European Tour this year, beating van Gerwen 6-1 in the quarterfinals.
First leg in to throw first. Game on.
Before losing to Benito van der Pas, but his best run on the European circuit since his run to the last 4 in Gibraltar roughly 12 months ago. Has made 1 final on the European Tour, lost 6-3 to Adrian Lewis, as he said, in the German Masters in 2012. And certainly very, very capable of going deep
43.
here this weekend as well. Just seems to be opening up a little bit, doesn't it? The seeded casualties are beginning to rack up. Kim Huybrechts the latest.
And that's the first 180, and it goes to the Diamond Ian White. Yes, no Kim Huybrechts anymore, and James Wilson doing for him. It is James Wilson who awaits the winner of this game.
41.
That run to the semis last year for Ian White was a bit of a sequence breaker. He made the 2nd round in 2013, lost to Jamie Caven. 2nd round exit in 2015 as well, at the hands of Nathan Derry. Remember him on the European Tour? Kim Huybrechts beat him in round 3 in 2014. Henderson's never been beyond the 3rd round here as well. But with darts like that, he may well arrest that sequence here. Work to do, though, in this first leg. White down to a finish of a ton on his throat.
It may turn out to be a vanity 180 for Hendo there, because despite it, you're still 137 points behind ahead of this visit. And White, this will be very high.
60.
Leaves himself tops for a potential 13 dart leg to open things up. And no real surprise, you expect Ian White to go an average in the mid to high 90s and hit 40-50% of his doubles. You kind of know the kind of thing Ian was going to throw at you. Sometimes he throws even better, and it was too good for Michael van Gerwen in Saarbrücken, and that is too good for John Henderson in the opening leg.
Well, Ian White can boast a fairly healthy, or a very healthy, head-to-head record against John Henderson. Just a 1 win in 7, I believe, as far as my research is concerned, for the Highlander.
Yes, certainly in PDC darts. He did win their first meeting, but that was at the Zuiderdown Masters back in 2009. I'm not sure you can read a great deal into that. The only win that John Henderson has in PDC darts against Ian White was in Killarney in Ireland, and that was 3.5 years ago. And even then, he only won it in a deciding leg. So Ian White has never failed in PDC darts to take at least 5 legs off John Henderson.
140.
Well, Rene Idams took 4 legs off John Henderson yesterday in their opening match, their first round match. Henderson's highlight, though, the 170 checkout, the first of 2 so far this weekend. Let's just see if White can fill this one up. No, he can't, but it's 140 nevertheless.
140.
That 170 checkout gave him a break of throw to level the match at 3 apiece, but that was one of 7 breaks in that particular match. It was a really difficult one to weigh up and a difficult one to predict, even when it went down to the 10th leg, which proved to be the decider and the final leg of the match. And as you say, an opportunity to play James Wilson tomorrow for the winner of this one. Wilson beats Ian White in Sindelfingen at the end of last year. So maybe a chance to redress the balance, but still has to get the job done here against John Henderson. And John Henderson might be in the money here, but
96.
Well, unless White can take out a big one here, Henderson will return, but you wouldn't put it past Ian White.
Clever use of the bullseye to at least get down to this finish, Ian White, in the last visit, but he's not going to get a dart for the leg, so Hendo will come back, and I would think he'll go 1 for double 12.
John White, 25.
Let's have a little look. Oh, well, he could go double 1. Not what he wanted, I can assure you. Leaves in 23. Now, Hendo, what do you do? You go, could do 3 for double 10, maybe, or something else entirely. Okay, 15 for double 4. There we go. And it doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you do it.
The leg in to throw first.
And he's done it. 1 apiece. Second round exit for John Henderson last year here, losing to Robert Thornton 6-5.
93.
Does like a 6-5 tussle on the Euro circuit, does John Henderson. He's been involved in a few. Survived 13 match darts and a 6-5 win over Wayne Jones in the first round here last year, and then was on the receiving end of an 11 leg match in the second round against Thornton. Led 4-0 against Robert Thornton that day as well.
Yeah, well, of course, the 1 Euro Tour final John Henderson has made finished 6-5. Unfortunately, Big Hendo was on the wrong end of it, losing out to Michael van Gerwen in Munich.
140.
Has rediscovered the habit of qualifying for these events in the first place. Missed the last 4 of last year and the first 2 of 2017. Qualified for 3 in a row though now, including this one.
97.
Yeah, but yet to make a quarter-final in any form of tournament in 2017, John Henderson.
96.
Last time he did was back in September in Barnsley, made the semi-finals that day. Tends to have these little runs every now and again that come out of the blue. Dangerous player. You talk to Gary Anderson. Gary Anderson will tell you he rates John Henderson incredibly highly.
Well, he's 34 in the world, so he's on the fringes of the all-important top 32. And there isn't a lot separating that cluster of players in that particular segment of the order of merit. So a good run here this weekend will do him the world of good. Anyway,
140.
Ian White has no such concerns.
.74 scored.
82. Ian requires 64.
So there's pressure on this.
Yeah, Henderson might be sniffing a potential break.
Only going to get one dart, Ian White. Double 16.
48.
Just seemed to take an extra moment there, Ian White.
56.
Couldn't find the double, and Hendo, it'll be 16 for tops. Oh, well, he's missed the big number. It'll be another 8 now. Well, now... Okay, well, Hendo, you go where you like.
24.
But that was just a horrible mess, because even... He missed the big number for a start and hit the 8. I'm sure he was going for another 8, because he leaves tops at every available opportunity. It is his favourite double. Then he's left double 16. It's still a good one, but... In the end, that is a mistake for John Henderson.
Yeah, and having hit double 1 when he was looking at 1 double 12 in the previous leg, he's made a mess of things there. Got away with it first time around, but didn't get away with it there.
100.
And Ian White has got out of jail there to an extent. But on we go. On with the throw. 2-1 White leads.
$58. $100.
Well, White is in front in terms of the averages at the moment. Early days to be looking at such statistics. 2 from 3 on the checkouts, 1 from 3 for Henderson.
Yeah, and those numbers can...
quickly change.
57.
Yeah, they can rise, certainly. I mean, I said with Ian White, you expect him to average in the mid to high 90s, isn't it? 40-50% of his doubles. That's the sort of typical Ian White display. Go and average 96 and hit 40% of his doubles. You know that's kind of what the diamond produces on a regular basis, and that's the second 180. Hendo's only hit the 1 maximum, and his first 9 average needs to dramatically improve, because when Hendo is playing well, he is a very, very big scorer. He held a record at Lakeside for the number of 180s in a 5-set match. Hit 13 of them. And when it's all in sync, it just looks, that rocking motion that he gets going, just looks like he's just rocking back and forth and straight into the treble 20 over and over again. But sometimes things are a bit out of sync, and you get visits like that, 32.
Yeah,
real chance for a break.
Definitely is now. Ian White in a good place here in this 4th leg. Presented with a really good opportunity for the break of throw. Double 18 then.
48.
Well,
you recall 112.
Can't be done now.
40.
Again, messy from John Henderson, making hard work of the business end of things in all legs so far.
Splitting this one White, looking at double 4. Didn't fancy the double 9, because you start missing inside like that and you end up losing darts at double. Now, in the end, he sacrificed a dart at a double at the start of the visit. He's missed 2 at the end. That's a great one from John Henderson. Double 6 he wants now to hold his throw and to get away with this leg.
60.
But he does not get away with it. Not yet, anyway. Ian White, double 2 for the first break of throw and a 3-1 lead to open up a 2-leg cushion. The noise in the crowd. The diamond just trying, put it out of his mind. Madhouse.
He shows the full flag, Ian White.
Well, he does get the job done eventually, Ian White. Ripple of applause for that one.
Ian to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, there was a shout out as well, just as the... well, it's difficult to tell if it was as he was throwing or as it was in mid-air, but anyway, he just ignored what was going on behind him, and he's ignoring what's going on behind him here and focusing on what's in front of him. It's another maximum for Ian White. It's his 3rd of the match.
140.
Hendo just missing out on his 2nd. Simon Whitlock and Steve Beaton on the way to round off this evening's entertainment. But could Ian White give us something special? Well, 4 perfect darts, can't follow it with a 5th.
100.
Ian White has won a number of PDC titles. He won 3 floor titles last year.
122.
Very, very accomplished player in the floor events away from the TV cameras. He has not been far away from claiming glory on a big PDC stage in these European Tour events. It has been the big TV stages where it's just keeps hitting this barrier of the quarterfinals. 7 times he's made a big TV quarterfinal and 7 times he has failed to get over the line despite getting agonisingly close, most recently at the UK Open.
99.
But you just get the feeling that if Ian White could have a big weekend here or at some point over the course of this year on the European Tour and go and claim that maiden Euro Tour title, it might just give him that little bit of belief he needs to go and have a run further than he's ever got before in one of the big ones, because he does have the game to do it.
Yeah, it really could give him a new lease of life.
Ball.
96.
Just misses.
Junior record 140.
It's good. But not quite good enough. Shake the head for Hendo. Needed 2 treble 20s for a dart at double 10. For 4-1 to really take a stranglehold on this game. 17. Oh, yeah, he has gone 17. Double 4. Double 2. And he's 23. In the madhouse again. That is one of the downsides of going that route for 25. Robert Thornton does it a lot.
It does cut out a lot of ground, doesn't it? But yeah, he's been punished there.
6th leg, John to
Henderson breaks back.
Game on.
And he's now throwing to level the game at 3 apiece. And 3 darts missed by Ian White for a 4-1 lead could prove to be the pivotal moment in this game.
100.
A long way to go, only about halfway through this match potentially.
Yes, Simon Whitlock and Steve Beaton can wait a little while longer, we feel here. They meet in the final match of the day today.
59.
Steve Beaton, a finalist here 3 years ago. Simon Whitlock, European Tour champion as well. Hendo.
100.
Another disturbance in the crowd there. It looks like somebody might have been ejected at the back of the hall.
Looking to fill this up, Ian White. And does so. It's 4 maximums for the diamond. Yeah, Steve Beaton and Dave Chisnell, the only 2 players in the tournament as things stand to have made the final of this tournament in the past. We haven't got a former winner anymore with James Wade going out to Dimitri Vandenberg.
Yeah, new name on the trophy then.
Phil Taylor and Michael Van Gerwen, the previous winners, they're not here this weekend as Ian White doesn't make it back-to-back, but he's got himself down to 122. He missed a dart for the 1-2-1 checkout in the previous leg. Hendo's going to set this up nicely though, isn't he? Very nicely indeed. 177 to leave 24.
Beautiful.
Big shot this for 4-2. And to prevent Hendo pulling it back to 3-all. And he does not get a go at the bullseye, so Hendo will have a look at the double 12.
39.
Treble 1 with the last dart as well. Awkward for White if he gets the chance. Henderson, though, still looking at double 12 here. And we are level once again. Oh, this is bubbling up nicely now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an excellent game of 3-all. Please do not call out what the players are throwing. Please do not call out what they're throwing. Thank you.
George Noble setting the record straight.
7th leg Ian to throw first.
Maybe nicknamed the puppy, but you don't mess with him.
He can quickly turn into a Rottweiler.
$140.
But he's right, it is an excellent game of darts, this one.
Well, it's certainly a tight one.
140.
Neck and neck in the 7th leg, 3 legs apiece, both men averaging round about that 90 mark. John Henderson has hit, well, hitting his doubles more regularly
60.
than Ian White. Those 3 missed ones for a 4-1 lead could yet come back to haunt the diamond.
100.
And he's not really got going on his big scoring as John Henderson, and if he does at some point between now and the end of the game, Ian White is going to have problems.
60.
Only once has John Henderson beaten Ian White in PDC darts, and that was 3.5 years ago. He wins this.
41.
He takes on another unseeded player for a place in the quarterfinals. It would be a first quarterfinal of the year for either James Wilson or John Henderson. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Ian White will still be the favourite, the narrow favourite to win this one. But having missed darts to go 4-1 up and seen Henderson level the game at 3 apiece.
Yeah, you just wonder what that's done to his frame of mind here.
60.
He's not the sort of player I suspect that would dwell too much on the ones or the legs that have slipped through his fingers.
Well, you wouldn't know from Ian White. His demeanour on stage is just completely implacable. An inscrutable character on stage, bouncy toddler of a man off it. But
Johnny Regal, 160.
what a shot this would be. Not going to happen. Ian White has left 11 there, and that's going to be 3 for double 4, and
Double 4,
he's
yeah.
had problems on double 4. Keeps ending up going down to double 1. Can he put it right here? Yes, he can.
Needed that. Henderson was threatening to win a third leg on the bounce there. But Ian White has just stemmed the tide, and at long last he found double 4. Now that might do him the world of good. Might have been just beginning to bother him that double 4 was proving problematic, but he's taken it out there.
100. 135.
Yeah, it's good to watch Henderson when he's in full swing, when that rocking motion just gets going.
135.
It's nice to watch.
Soothing, isn't it?
It is.
Quite soporific.
60.
White just needs to be careful to leave a finish here. Come down the board.
Yeah, doesn't want a ton.
96 would do.
60.
Strays into the 7 section. And that's no good to him in terms of leaving a finish. Henderson still has the advantage, but needs to find 1 treble minimum.
60.
And doesn't do it. So Ian White, if he were to break in this leg and go 5-3 up, he would have the throw in 2 of the 3 remaining legs, only needing to win 1 to book his place in the last 16 to face James Wilson. And it's good. It's very good from Ian White. The man from Stoke. Threatening. Henderson is not going to take out 150. He's desperate to stay on the 20s there. If he just got a flat 60, it would have left 90, and you can see that, you know, doesn't have to hit a treble to hit a ball for the leg in the next couple of visits, but he may not get a go, because double 18 for the diamond puts him 5-3 up. And that's exactly what he's got. And Ian White, the finishing has improved in the last couple of legs. He's taken out double 4 and double 18, first start on each occasion. And it's the messing about on doubles that has cost Ian White in this game in the middle section when John Henderson came back at him.
Yeah, he's 5 from 14.
60.
Much of the damage was done earlier on, but looks to be back on track now, throwing first in this 9th leg as well. Always a good position to be in, but he's only kicked off with 60. Just all about getting the job done here for Ian White, getting over the line and then getting ready for tomorrow. If tomorrow comes for him, that's more like it.
Well, look, we've seen Ian White on the European Tour this year just turn up and play brilliant. Looked like the best player in the tournament for a number of rounds. You go out average 107, follow it with 105 and then 103.
60. Yeah, he had a great match in Jena, didn't he? Yeah, I recall. Averaged 104 in one match.
We know he can do that. He can turn up on days and even weekends and play to that standard. This is not that. He's a good 10 points off where a good Ian White performance would be in the averages. But he has found enough so far against John Henderson, and a lead of almost 140 points in what may prove to be the final leg of the match. Could be enough to see him over the line. We have seen some shocks. We have seen some seeded players go out. The biggest shock is probably Jelle Claessen's incredible run on the Euro Tour, brought to a shuddering halt by Magnus Carris, the Swede making the final day of a Euro Tour for the very first time in his career. Rob Cross beat his roommate Joe Cullen. Gerwyn Price knocked out by Darren Johnson. James Wade, a former champion, beaten by Dimitri van den Berg. But it looks like the number 11 seed Ian White is going to be in the final day of action, because he's got 2 visits to see off 106 and claim an 8th victory over John Henderson in his PDC career. Double 16 is the target. And double 16 is there. Ian White, he started in the middle of the game, but the last 3 legs all won, hitting the dart, or hitting the double, first dart. 106 checkout seals it, and John Henderson's challenge comes to an end in round 2. The Diamond will face the jammy dodger James Wilson for a place in the quarterfinals. That's tomorrow afternoon. Tonight, we've got one more game for you. It is the former European champion, the Wizard Simon Whitlock, taking on Steve Beaton, a former finalist here in Gibraltar, the top performer from round 1, and certainly the man with the best tan on this rock. It's Whitlock v Beaton to round off the evening.
Ian, congratulations. Tough match, I think.
Yeah, it's very hard when you play your mate. You know, we played together a long time in the video. You know, we're Dutch champions in pairs. We're Irish champions in pairs as well. So, you know, we're very close, so it was very hard playing him.
But it's always tough playing a friend, but you've got many friends in the dart scene, so it must be hard every time then.
Yeah, it is. You know, you've got to try and get your mind on and get through that round, but, you know, John's a good friend of mine, and I know he'll be gutted now. He's not played like, you know, like he can do. But, you know, at least I'm through now to the next round.
Next round, James Wilson is your opponent in the next round. How's your record against him?
I'm not too sure, but you know, we'll get it together tomorrow and have a good game on the dartboard.
All right, we're going to see him back tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Ian White!
Вирусная угроза была обнаружена.